the Wild. Take it away.
All right, hello everyone. I am Requiem of Spirit. Very original name, I know. I speedrun Breath of the Wild. I also speedrun A Link to the Past, and I'm going to be running any % on the Switch 2 today, so the latest version that came out a few months ago. On the couch here, we have a friendly commentator and some other guests. You want to introduce yourselves?
All right, so we have some lovely individuals who don't know how to talk, but I'm Glubbers, and I run a ton of Zelda games, so I see Rex's name, and I go, when are you running Ocarina of Time? But we are going to be running Breath of the Wild. This is a fantastic game. Are you guys excited for it? All right, well, Rex is going to take it away, but I say no reason to hold off. So...
All right, so timing actually starts when you gain control of Link, and we have like a minute and 10 seconds for that. So we're going to start off talking about what this version is. So if people here are familiar with Breath of the Wild speedruns over the past few years, this is going to be slightly different. With the newest version, they patched out, if you're familiar with the trick, a trick called Bow Lift Smuggle Slide, where you basically smuggle a bow and a carryable item in your hand, and you fly across the map, losing no height, no stamina. It's extremely broken and extremely versatile. We don't have access to that. So instead, runs for any % revert back to what it was in 2021. We're going to feature a trick called bullet time bounces, which if you haven't seen what those are, you're in for a treat. This is going to be so much fun. This is probably the most exciting trick that, for me in Breath of the Wild, this is what got me into Breath of the Wild speedruns and so many of my friends as well. Quick note, I am running on the Switch 1 experience, which means this is in 30 FPS. We're not running in 60 FPS. It's not in the higher frame rate. The runs actually are pretty similar. Time's going to start soon now. And start.
So the run's actually going to start out very similar to literally how this has gone since, what, 2017? When did we find Scope Clip? So we obviously need to grab the Sheikah Slate because we need to be able to use the map. So there's a few functions of it, but it is going to immediately after that go straight into some non-typical gameplay. We're going to do what's called a scope clip to do what we call SOR, or Shrine of Resurrection clip, which is going to put Rek out of bounds. And interestingly enough, this was the first Zelda game to feature what is called two-sided collision, double-sided collision. So we're going to first clip out, which Rek is going to set up for here. And going to get any second now. It is a little bit rough because we have to be actively moving and get into a position while moving.
There we go.
There we go. Nicely done. And because we have two-sided collision, we also need to clip back in, which is why Rek is going up this mountain in a very specific way to maintain as much stamina as possible, to get up to a specific spot where we're going to crouch and just clip right back in.
And so those clips save quite a bit of time. Normally you have to open the Shrine of Resurrection door and then watch another cutscene on exiting, and that's like minutes of time saved right there. Now that we're out here, we're using, if you notice that we're actually still sprinting, but regaining stamina. If you're not familiar with this game's mechanics, we have whistle sprinting. We can basically whistle and sprint at pretty much 80% speed, if I'm not wrong.
Whistle sprinting is fantastic for us to just get our stamina back up and still maintain a lot of that speed that we're going at. Other than that, we've just, obviously there's shield surfing, which is a casual mechanic. What Rek is doing here is he went over to that Boko camp to go and grab this pot lid, and Zelda's going to very rudely interrupt our momentum here while she just reminds us of what we're supposed to even be doing. So, okay.
And yeah, that's right. We're actually heading straight to our first shrine, which is going to be Stasis. And for people who play this game casually, you might be wondering, well, you haven't gotten to the tower yet. How are you going to get into Stasis? Well, much like the scope clip we just did, there's another way to clip into shrines called skew clipping. Glubbers, do you want to go over what skew is and how we use that to clip?
Do I have 30 minutes? So skew, very simply put, in a non-technical way, if you shield jump onto a sloped surface, you're going to bounce off of it and you're going to retain a little bit of that angle of the surface, and getting the right kind of skews can clip you into the right kind of geometries, which is very, very nice. We can clip into shrines. We can clip into basically every shrine, actually literally every shrine on the plateau, just by using some different skew. Rek grabbed it right there.
And I'm going to actually showcase it here as I'm running past this area. So you notice Link did a really violent skew to the right there, and that's what we're going to use to clip through this shrine.
Yep. So we're going to set up a relatively precise position, but Rek is very experienced at this, so just walks up and does it.
All right. We unfortunately do not have any good tools to cheese the first 3 shrines we're going to do, which is Stasis, Cryo, and then Magnesis. The tool which you use to cheese all of the shrines in this game is Bombs, and unfortunately that is the last rune that we collect. There is a theory-crafted route for doing Bombs first, but at this point it's too inconsistent to do in real time. It does look promising, though. With Bombs, we can skip most of these shrines. We can do another movement trick that we're going to come up with that we're going to describe later to basically just skip to the end of the shrine. But besides that, we're just going to have like 1 minor skip per shrine, pretty much. And it's just mostly going to be vanilla movement throughout.
Yeah, so we're going to have just the 1 bit of movement tech here. Rek's going to cancel the stasis early so that he gets the timer back to then stun the boulder so that he doesn't have to wait for that cycle. Then we're going to have a little minor skip while we go over here. This is just called a shield jump. It's pretty self-explanatory. Rek's going to go to this right corner here, jump, delay a shield jump, and barely climb over. Just a small little skip that gets us around using stasis again. Fantastic.
All right. We have a little bit of time. Why don't we get started on describing what BTBs are? Up till this point, movement has been pretty normal. Things have looked pretty vanilla except for the 2 clips that you saw. We're about to showcase why this this run is super fun to watch. So,
all right. So we have a BTB, bullet time bounce, or if anyone here likes small ant, bounce that boy. So basically, as you go into bullet time, which is the little bow while you're jumping, zoom in mode so that you can get off some quick action shots. Very cool, very cinematic, right? That actually slows your momentum, and as you transition back into real time, if you time it right with landing on a Boko's back, so we have Billy the Boko here, and Link's gonna come in on his little shield, and he's gonna... We're just going to do that. You're going to see that in real time. You're going to see it a few different times, but we're in third-person mode. It's not going to be as good of an example as me throwing that little plush who's just going to sit over there. You can stay right there. He still has a tag on. But first, we're going to do what is called a boulder launch. Boulder launch is cool. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a stasis launch. You can just ride the boulder like SpongeBob. And did you know they can go up? It is a rock. It's a rock named Boulder, okay? You guys remember Avatar? It's the boulder. All right, so here's the BTB. Very nice launch. A lot of verticality, but we should be good. And then we're going to do what's called a fall damage cancel. So if we throw the weapon and then cancel it, we basically reset our vertical position for what fall damage is considered. So yeah, we were falling a long distance, but we canceled it low enough that then it reset that position, and I frankly didn't have time to explain ESCs. We'll do it later.
will we? I don't know if we'll see another ESC.
You're going to do an ESC, right?
We never know. I mean, might as well explain it now.
Fair enough. So that was another way to clip into a shrine. He went in the front door. He did what's called an extended shield clip. If you get a specific kind of skew and run up to the door, you first have to clip into the first part of the door. Like I said, these things have 2 sides of geometry. So you're clipping into the first half of the door, and then you're very quickly doing a cancel on that shield jump, which clips you through the second half of the door. It's frame perfect and really annoying sometimes, but Rek walked right through. I was frankly expecting to have some time. I didn't. But yeah, as you can tell, a lot of stuff that we're doing goes off of shield jumping. We're going to see that again here. We have Cryonis. I've basically never said its full name in the past half decade at least. We're going to set down one of the little cryo blocks, do a shield jump, and barely get up.
So that skips sketch.
That was a little sketch, but we get all the way through cryo. We don't have to do any of the puzzles or anything. And we're done with Cryonis. We've done half of Plateau already, by the way. We're 7 minutes in and we've done half. Half of the first half of the run. They're a quarter way through.
So we're coming up on another BTB now. All of our overall movement now is just going to be BTBs. And this BTB is notoriously the most difficult BTB to get right. So let's see how this goes.
Absolutely. So this one is notorious because it's very precise to get the exact angle that you want. There are some easier setups that you can end up with maybe not the ideal launch that you can get, but you'll get most of the way there. And let's see what we get here. All right. Ooh, that is very nice. All right. And do another fall damage cancel. Grab the axe because you accidentally threw it. And get a fresh set of skew because we killed our skew on the last shield jump. And
let's try that again.
Yeah, just, yep. Very nice. And we're going to clip into this little O-shaped thing. It looks like a Cheerio to me, but it's the nice visual cue everyone uses. It's a Cheerio.
So you might be looking at these and thinking, oh, why don't you just ESC or extend a shield clip into every front door? It just turns out that cryo, that tiny snow patch in front of the shrine gives you a very nice skew to clip through these doors. Again, ESC is super finicky. A lot of the times you will get scammed. You might land under the shrine. You might just get pushed out. I have a lot of bad experiences with it. It's also a frame perfect trick. And if you want to try to buffer for that frame, you can't because quick menus actually buffer 2 frames at a time. So you just have to try to hit the frame. Honestly, not worth it for most of these shrines. Just for cryo, it's pretty convenient. It's right there.
Yeah, so the short answer is you can, but every runner says no. No, God, no. Why would we do that? It's horrible. You end up losing time on average on basically every other one. If you run in 60 FPS, that's basically the only way in.
Yeah, 60 FPS actually has... I guess we didn't talk about too much about why or what the differences are with 60 FPS. There's quite a few minor differences, but the route ends up being the same. A lot of the tricks you do are slightly different. Shield clips behave differently. BTBs need to have different setups. So because it's pretty much just the same run, Aether works for a pretty good showcase. If you're paying close attention, in this shrine, the minor skip that I did was just doing a shield jump over the gap rather than lifting the slab, as I'm pretty sure you were intended to do.
It's all about freedom of expression. You can do what you want.
We're coming up on probably the most RNG heavy part of this run. This split is super RNG heavy, and it's also trick after trick after trick. So let's see if I hit these.
So this is called box walk, which I'm just going to say it, this sucks. We're going to walk in a specific spot, do what's called ESS walking, which I don't even need to really explain ESS. Ooh.
I mean, that's fine. I have backup food.
It's like the only time we would use it anyways. If you guys are interested in ESS, watch Wind Waker tomorrow. I'll explain it multiple times.
Might as well eat that.
We're going to go over to this Boko camp here, and as you can guess, Billy has some friends again, and one threw a barrel at us.
That Boko camp is notorious. There's so many different things that can happen depending on where you land, how you land, when you climb up the ladder, when the Bokos see you. But this time we got a pretty good launch.
Yeah, as much as they tried to be a little impolite, they weren't. So awesome. We're in the bomb shrine.
This is actually the last shrine on Plateau. And this is the only shrine that we get to see our final movement trick, probably my most favorite speedrun glitch in speedrunning, I think. Mm-hmm. It's super versatile. It's called wind bombs. Do you want to explain how wind bombs work?
Yeah, so a BIL is where a wind bomb is basically... The way that I like to explain it is if you guys have played billiards before, you take the cue, you hit the ball into another ball, right? And you ideally hit it into the pocket. In this example, one bomb is your cue, the second bomb is your white ball, and Link is whatever one you're trying to hit in the pocket. So, quite literally, we're going to smack a bomb into Link with an explosion. We're going to do what's called gamer wind bomb here, which is very, very precise on all timings of everything, but if done right...
I mean...
All right, you're alive.
Yeah, you shouldn't usually die to that, so... If done right, you'll land right in front of the monk. It's a really cool wind bomb. There I got a bit too much height, and I slammed against the ceiling. But all's fine.
Yeah, you guys like that wind bomb, right? We're going to do another one here in a second.
So wind bombs, they're super versatile. You can change how much you delay before dropping the circle bomb, how much you delay before entering bullet time, how much you delay before dropping the square bomb, whether you turn or not, delaying detonation, and all of those minor changes can change what kind of launch you get, which makes it, the barrier for entry is very low, but the skill ceiling is super high to get like really good at wind bombs.
Yeah, we're gonna do another, but first, let's go gambling.
So this is a run that uses amiibo. We're going to be, after this wind bomb, we're going to be scanning some amiibo to get some fish. The primary goal is to get a level 3 attack up potion, and also maybe some backup food if we can come by that. I might just scan whatever I have in front of me until some backup food shows up.
Yeah, it can be pretty bad RNG, so Rek brought what he uses for his runs, and I brought what I use for my runs. So he has twice of what people normally use. Plus my Mifa amiibo that was just on my shelf. You got one, like, carp lame. This is in French, by the way. If you couldn't tell, that's not English.
I guess we never talked about languages, huh?
French is fast. We like fast.
I'll pick that up, and that's...
You can grab that Hyrule Bass right there. You only grab the one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting more. I'm trying to scan until I can get backup fish.
If you scan mine, you have a higher chance to get...
Oh, there's one.
Oh, there we go. Sweet. Okay, so that's just more showcase-specific stuff. He definitely has enough food to finish the run, but now he has an entire aquarium because, I don't know, he has a screw loose. But he is going to cook all of that into some different kinds of food or eat it raw because Gordon Ramsay is not going to govern us. Oh, by the way, we're going to launch on a tree over to this chapel.
And we're done with Plateau.
Yep. Done in under 15 minutes, by the way.
All right. So coming up is the last BTB you'll see. This is an open world game, meaning we can go straight to the final boss, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. This is a speedrun after all.
Because it's any percent.
Yeah. This BTB is also very hard. It is technically frame perfect to enter bullet time. So let's see if I can hit it. I have another frame to work with. Let's see what we get.
Yeah, so if it's frame perfect and we have a backup frame, that just means that if we miss the first one, we're like, oh, this one also kind of works. But it's still timing to the exact same amount of precision. It's not like the trick is necessarily easier as a result. And Rek is doing like a little bit of a setup with the swings to try and time it perfectly.
That was the early frame, so...
You're a little far to the side.
I mean,
but
this might work with good stamina management. We'll see.
All right, so Rek's going to do what is, well, he described it as stamina management. He's pulling the paraglider and correcting himself and trying to get around to the right spot. We'll see if this works. If not, we have an autosave right after, so it's not bad. But we should be fine, I think.
Yeah, this should be fine.
This is just straight to the copium.
Fun bounce there. Yeah, that was the early frame, so we didn't get the good launch. And because of that, we lost too much stamina. And I had to correct that by just...
Okay, but that was fantastic. I've never seen that before.
All right. Hey, buddy.
Not to say it's never happened before.
We're going to be killing you later. I'm sorry. No hurt feelings.
We will be getting that one's shield, which is also another thing that's just a little bit safe for showcases. It's not particularly normal, although I always end up accidentally doing it anyways.
We don't need that thing anymore. I'm done playing with you.
Aw. Why would you say that? The axe has feelings too.
We have newer toys now.
All right. So, Rek, are you going to grab the Razor Shroom because you definitely don't need it?
I do not need the Razor Shroom. There's a little bit of... ooh. I hope that whistling didn't alert the Lizalfos. We're doing something called throw sprinting here. It didn't, okay. Because it's just like whistle sprinting, but whistle sprinting attracts all the enemies around you. Throw sprinting doesn't. It's the only difference.
You might have a friend. I thought I heard something off to the left.
That's fine. Okay, well, I guess we're not picking that up.
Oh, yeah, they definitely, yep. You see the little question marks there. Rex cooking. It's dinner time. Like, actually, it's like 6.
You know, I can just cook up.
What time is
I
it?
can literally cook 2 attack of
5:00.
meals. That's crazy. Might as well.
Why?
and
And cook your salmon.
a full 3-course meal.
Yep. We're here in Seattle. We have to have a full course fish meal.
Unfortunately, I'm vegetarian.
And I don't like fish, so this has been the worst bit of couch to have this.
Okay.
We're doing another scope clip here. This is getting us out of bounds, and we're going to do some what are called mid-air wind bombs. So we're floating, let the bomb drop a little bit, and whee! And we're going to do another one, so get ready to say wee. Wee! Yippee! Okay, so we have this guy here. This guy's named Craig. Bye, Craig.
Okay, I have way too many arrows, so I'm gonna do.
You're gonna grab the extra one anyways, right?
I'm gonna grab this because that makes it easy for bomb arrows to just auto-equip.
It actually, yeah, very much so. Okay, so Rek needs to eat before doing this wind bomb, but not his attack food.
I mean, I have so
You
many.
have 2, so you could, but it's autosave, hard save, so that we have that. So basically, the game does autosaving a little bit weirdly. We would normally get one. Also, we. That's the last we of the game. Everybody, more heart into it. Come on.
All right, coming up is the final boss fight. We have. That's a lot of arrows.
Yes, it is. That's a fantastic number of arrows. This is called Windblight Skip. I like this one. So this is a gameplay rendered cutscene where the arrow was shot as we went into it. Maybe. Rex kind of questioning it. So the arrow's lodged midair. You're going to see his head wiggle.
This might be fine.
The arrow's just continuously hitting him.
Okay, we didn't kill him. Let's see how much HP he has left. This might still be okay.
You might have to reload. Maybe I lied about it being the last Wii. Maybe we get another chance at doing the last Wii.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine. Sorry, I baited you there.
That's not the weapon I need.
You can do a wind bomb during Dark Beast so they can go Wii again.
Oh my god. Hey, buddy.
So one thing that's important here, we're doing some very specific stuff and attacking things in very specific ways. It's complicated. If you learn these fights, they take 3 minutes, plus Calamity takes under 2, so it's like 4.5 minutes. It takes like a week to learn. But Rek's doing some very specific stuff here to get damage down in very specific ways so we can manage the different sub-phases and knock the knockback like that. So we're going to just knock down Water Blight here. Now that we've gotten past Wind Blight, we have to take down all 4 of the Blights. This is a boss gauntlet. After Water Blight, we'll have Fire Blight, then Thunder Blight, who was everyone's favorite casually, right? Yeah, that's what I expected. And then we get Calamity, who is even worse because we didn't beat the Divine Beasts. So he's not at half health. We just have to do the whole thing.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine call this Beyblade Simulator. We're abusing these two-handed weapons to spin because they have a very high base attack, and there are some cases where you can get double hits with your spins, up to 3 hits per spin. So that's a lot of damage racked up really quickly.
All right, so we're going to use a bomb again here. We can watch Fire Blight go wee, okay? All right. Whee! He fell. So we're getting what are called double hits here. This is actually very precise. I hate that strat, where you hit him twice in one spin and just immediately obliterate him. Hi, Thunder Blight, the last Blight of what I just named. Other than Calamity, it's not Calamity Blight, but it's Ganon.
So you notice my weapon was about to break there. All of the weapons, including my bow, except for the boomerang, have pretty much perfect weapon routing, meaning they're like 1 or 2 hits away from breaking before we throw them at Thunderblight or Calamity Ganon. And the Boomerang, the only reason we picked that up, or the main reason we pick it up, is pretty much to just throw it at Blights. Where is it?
Yeah, I don't know where it is. Oh, there it
There
is.
it is.
So another thing is like specifically timing into the second phase of Thunderblight. If we throw to cancel the shield, it staggers and makes Thunderblight do a specific attack again, so we can just immediately re-stagger it. And then we can do the double spins, and that's all of the Blights. The Blights are dead.
I forgot to equip the arrow that I picked up, so I'm going to have to manually equip bomb arrows.
Yep. This is Calamity Ganon. So Calamity Ganon is great. We're going to start out with a Flurry Rush with the Boomerang. And then we're going to smack him with a ton of bomb arrows after we get some equipment that we need, because we actually don't have enough stuff to do everything right now. It's just also in this room with us. So this is a very specific fight. Rek needs to hit at least 7 of 10 headshots, and he's ideally not... Ooh.
That was a late parry. Let's try that again. All right.
And we're going for a parry here. I'm going to be quiet while Rek times. He uses auto cues.
Ooh, that was late again. He might go to wall after this. That's fine.
He's going to go to wall, yeah.
All right. We have another attack up potion. That's not something I can parry.
Oh, goodness. No. Ooh, okay. One-shot protection. That's what the salmon's for.
I guess that's what my extra attack up food is for now.
Yep. Oh, no.
Okay, I forgot that I can knock him off the wall. I'm going to move out of the way of this.
Please do that.
And then I'm going to knock him off the wall. Because I forgot I can do that in phase 1.
Yeah, yep. Okay.
All right. Third time's the charm, right?
Nice. We're going to need to do that again.
I can't believe he's going to wall again. That's pretty unfortunate. All right, let's see what
I normally
happens
play
here.
in German, so I don't really know.
All right, we're playing mini games now.
Oh, we're playing mini games! Yay! That makes us hundo, right? We're going to be here for a day for hundo, right? Oh,
anything I can parry, anymore. Anything I can do to get you off wall?
Thank you. There we go. Spear right back in the face. Phase 1 over.
Okay.
All right. He just came off the wall, so maybe you're going to get a laser.
He won't go to wall again, surely, right?
Laser. Okay. Quiet time. Nice. Okay. Phase 2 is a stun lock. He's just dead, assuming we do this fine. It's not hard, and now I've jinxed it. We'll see what happens. If you mess this up, then...
It's your fault.
Yeah. Basically, what we're doing here is doing a certain amount of spins, and if we do a certain amount of damage within the time it takes for him to get up, he will just go straight back down. And that is exactly what we're doing. We're doing stamina management for that. Not really that hard, but you need to know what you're doing. Not so much as like the method. There's a lot of ways to make this faster, but Ganon's dead.
And so is my weapon.
And so is your weapon.
And with that, we're done with the hardest boss fight in the game. That fight is really stressful. That was 2 parries that I missed, causing a whole bunch of mishap.
Yeah.
But we're through.
All right, I'm going to raise another red flag and say this part's an auto-scroller. You can die during this auto-scroller. Why would Rek do that?
The good thing, though, is if you do die, you respawn right back in this fight, which is good. For any of the Blights or Calamity, if you die, you have to do them all from the start. So you would have seen another wind bomb then, but that would have been pretty unfortunate.
All right, so you use audio cues, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for you to start moving. Okay. So this is going to be a thing called speechless, which if I'm talking, that means I should probably be quiet. It's an audio cue.
Ooh, that was a bit early.
That was a little early. That is not my fault. I was being quiet.
So we essentially use audio cues here to try to know when to fire just before those weak points appear. and it's all based on the music that's going on in the background. One thing you might have noticed is that the text is in French, but Zelda's speaking in Italian. Something we found out pretty recently is setting the voice acting to Italian makes this fight just 1 second faster for whatever reason. And the only reason we found that is because one of our runners just loved hearing the old man voice in Italian at the beginning of the run.
Oh yeah, the old man's. And it's fine for me to do that because this part is that's gonna reset the music, so the audio cue doesn't matter. Well, it just resets. It's the same. Trust me, it's fine. You gonna do your wind bomb now so they can say we?
I don't want to hurt the horse. I could do it if I had items in my inventory. I could do a shield jump cancel wind bomb, but I have no items in my inventory. I cleared it out.
There are trees. Save the trees, I guess.
There we go. That's speechless. If you hit it on the very first frame, Zelda doesn't talk at all. And the ideal fight gives you triple speechless, where Zelda basically just does not talk at all. All right, we're coming up on the last hit here. Time is when the arrow hits the big eye, typical of Zelda games.
Yeah, when you see a splody, that'll be time. All right. There's the eye.
Time. 29:15. That's pretty good, especially with all of the mishaps that happened in Calamity. All right.
It was fun watching Calamity.
Yeah. If you guys saw anything that you liked and you'd like to learn more about that, I couldn't recommend joining the Breath of the Wild Discord and the community more. So many helpful people there, so many people to help you out, learn the run. It's pretty easy to pick up. You just need a cartridge, the Switch, and you're set. Yeah. Anything you want to shout out?
I mean, this is 1.8, which is a phenomenal version. There's also 1.6 runs. I'll just shout out the rest of what's going on. So, Breath of the Wild community is great. Join the Discord. They're awesome people. If you want to run this game, there's so much that you can do. If you guys want to see more Zelda, you can watch either me tomorrow running Wind Waker, which that'll be fun, and that'll be over in the PAX Arena in the other building, so make sure you're there. It's going to be a big room at 11.
We got to see the audience with all the speedrun lovers.
We need to see this giant audience. I'm going to pitch so many memes to them in like 20 minutes. But if you also want to see more Breath of the Wild, GDQ shows up at TwitchCon, where I'll be running this game.
Also, special shout outs to Cloud as well, who, if you're going to watch Flame Fatales, which is coming up later, she's going to be running Breath of the Wild at that event. So definitely check that out.
She'll be running Breath of the Wild all dungeons in studio, and she is a really good friend of ours. She is fantastic.
So yeah, definitely check that out. Also, special shout outs to Phantom, who graciously gifted us these wonderful plushies, one of which is lying on the floor over there.
He's still dead. There we go. He's alive! He gets to sit next to Zelda because he saved her. It's thematic, I guess.
All right, yeah. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks for having me on. This was a very fun run. Calamity went a little bit off the rails, but we didn't die, so that's great.
No, if we didn't die, honestly, it's more impressive. It's way more impressive. That was amazing.
But yeah, thank you. I hand it back to you guys.